Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. Sorry if I'm a little bit late coming on as, well, I always am, so sorry about that. But we'll just wait for the room to fill up before we start, but hopefully it won't take too long. And we'll wait to welcome everybody on. So, how has everyone's week been? What have we all been up to? What's been going on? This end, it's been a little bit on the manic front. We've had quite a few where we've done a lot of content. We've had quite a lot of stuff go on. So it's been a little bit on the manic here. Tom, welcome. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, is this Thanksgiving in the US and in Canada or just in Canada? I'm completely confused because we don't do it over here. So I get completely confused. Chris, hello. Welcome. Quirky Beauty. Hello. How are you? Kayang Neng, welcome. Thank you all for joining. Oh, we've filled up nicely. So thank you everybody for joining. Rebecca, welcome, my love. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And it's only okay. So Tom says, Jenny, hello, my love. Tom says it's only in Canada. US Thanksgiving next month. Yeah, I thought that. You know, when you think I've got the wrong month, but that makes more sense. That definitely makes more sense. Well, happy Thanksgiving to any Canadians out there. Jenny, say hi really quickly. Yes, you got a turkey to go and cook, Jenny. Good luck with the cooking, my love. I hope it goes amazingly well, and your family appreciate all the effort you're going to. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving to any Canadians out there. So in the US, it's last Thursday in November, so I'll remember that. So I can remember to thank everybody for Thanksgiving. I think it's like in America, isn't Thanksgiving like almost as big or even bigger than Christmas? I get a little bit confused because I've never actually been out there for Thanksgiving. So I've seen some of the parades on the TV, but I've never actually been out there. DM13, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Amazing to have you here. Anastasia, welcome. So happy I didn't fall asleep yet. Yeah, I was going to say, it's quite late. If I remember rightly, you're quite a bit far the other way, so you might be close to bedtime now. But thank you for joining. Miss Farry, welcome. Thank you for joining, my love. Jennifer, hello. Jennifer says, quick question about my eyelids. Do I exfoliate, moisturize, sunscreen every time I put on sunscreen on my eyelids? My eyes sting. Good question. Actually, this is really so different. We're talking about the eyelids, which obviously the top of the eyes. Do not exfoliate. Do not put any active ingredients on there. Nothing at all, because it is a super sensitive area of the skin, and you will regret it the second. So no products whatsoever. Obviously, if your cleanser gets on there, it's fine. No products whatsoever but sunscreen. Definitely need to apply that sunscreen, and I would recommend, if you find it quite stingy, a top tip that you can do is if you put and this can work around the mouth if you find it stings around the mouth or around the eyes, is if you get some translucent powder, you know, the sort of powder that you might use, you know, just to set your face if you wear makeup, put that on the eyelid first and then put your mineral SPF over the top of it. Won't affect the application of the SPF, but it will stop it migrating, because the reason it stings is because it migrates to the eye, because the area is quite oily and quite warm, so it migrates downwards. So if you put a little bit of translucent powder on, that will stop the stinging. Top tip. Jenny, I'll be catching up tomorrow, my love. Jenny, sending lots and lots of love and happy Thanksgiving to you and all the family. I hope you have an amazing time. Gal, hello. Gal, welcome. Thanks for joining. Laura, hello, my love. Morgan Talk says, yes, we love Thanksgiving. Yeah, I want to do an American Thanksgiving now. Obviously, I'll do a Canadian one as well. I'll just come over for the full month of October and November, and then we'll do both. Let me just grab a cup of tea. Yeah, here in the UK, we don't have public holidays really either. So in America, I know you guys have loads and loads of public holidays. We don't really have that many here. We have like a couple, but we don't really do anything but like have the day off. So it's not that big a thing. Morgan Talks, welcome, I love. Quirky Beauty, Thanksgiving is about eating, and they've also tried to make it Boxing Day. Oh, that's true, Boxing Day. We do have Boxing Day here in the UK, which is amazing. It's like an extra Christmas day, like the day after Christmas, we just have an extra day off, and it's all lovely, and you eat more food and you shop a bit. You do lots of online shopping on Boxing Day for some reason, which I don't think is the purpose of it, but a lot of people now, it's like an excuse to order things that are going to come in boxes. That's what it is now. Patty, welcome, my love. It's all about food. Yes, isn't everything? I love food, and I love international food. It is all about food. Sifa says, have you ever tried green tea bags as compressed for acne and redness? I have. So this is a theory. If you take the tea bag, and I've got a tea on the go at the moment, which is, it's not green tea, but it's fine. works really well. So it doesn't have to be green tea. This is a myth. So a lot of people say to use a tea bag, you keep it in the fridge, and it'll just cool it down and it'll be fantastic. It doesn't have to be a green tea bag. Green tea has some great benefits like flavonoids, which are really great antioxidants and will help heal the skin, but so does black tea. So black tea, but you can also use it on zits. So if you get a zit, stick a tea bag, a cool tea bag on there, and it will just constrict the ventricles. So it'll take down the redness and the irritation, and it will actually help heal the zit. So it's a really, really good way. So yeah, I am fully on board with that. Definitely recommend it, Sifa. I think it's a really, really great tip. Havuva, hello, my love. Yigas, hello from New York. Welcome to anyone joining us from the States and from New York. I hope it's not getting too cold there, because I always look at New York with, I think it's like the Home Alone, the video thing where it always seems to be snowing. So I hope it's not getting too cold in New York. Chris says, what's the best way to get rid of discoloration? Ooh, good question. So there's loads of ways to get rid of discoloration, which can be caused by hyperpigmentation or can be much more of a surface discoloration. The best way, I think, is gradual and over a longer period of time. So some people want a result like that, and you can get that with like chemical peels and things, but that can be quite invasive and quite harsh. What I would recommend if you have discoloration, hyperpigmentation, particularly like around the mouth and things, incorporate a alpha-arbutin into your routine, which over a period of about 6 months will lighten the area, which is great. You can incorporate some more high-end products like the Repigment by Neod, which is my holy grail, but that's a little bit on the pricey side, but that's really effective. If you want to try hydroquinone, that is super effective, but it does have some side effects with irritation and redness. So I don't know. I think your first best thing to do if you've got hyperpigmentation is watch my video on hyperpigmentation. But once you've done that, actually use alpha-arbutin first, because that's, I think, the cheapest and it will be effective, but it'll be one of the most gentle ways of treating it. So put the alpha-arbutin on, give it a couple of months, see what results you get, and then maybe step it up by incorporating something else into your routine alongside it. That would be my top tip for that. Laura says, about to buy the ordinary caffeine solution. Get it on order, put it in that cart and click buy, because it is amazing. I love the caffeine solution. I did a video on how to get rid of dark circles under the eyes, and I didn't mention the caffeine solution in that video because I thought I've covered it on the channel so much. I wanted to talk about some other like products which could work alongside it, and I totally regretted that the instant I uploaded it, because everyone in the comments was like, we love the caffeine solution, you got us onto it and we love it, why are we not using it now? Absolutely. Before you do anything else to do with puffiness and dark circles, get the caffeine solution by The Ordinary in your life, because it's amazing. From that, you can then build on it if you want, but as a basis, everyone should have that in their life. It's all products, when you open them, have like a little symbol at the bottom that says like good for 6 months, and we never pay any attention to that, and we use them till they're used up, and who knows if it's 6 months or 12 months or whatever. I would put a little bit of a note on there, sorry, excuse me, just coughing up my tea. I would put a little bit of a note on the bottle, because I do find after that 6 month period, it starts to go a bit gloopy and you want to buy another. And it's only like £5, so you might as well just buy another. But do put a note on, because a little goes a long way, so you don't use the whole bottle really quick. But it's worth noting when you opened it so you can get a fresh one after that 6 months, because it doesn't work quite as well after that date. But enjoy it, my love. Gal says, are you getting any of the advent calendars? Oh, well. From the 1st of November, I have, and I can't say yet because I can't say till the end of October. Excuse me. Can't say to the end of October, but I've actually contributed a item to a skincare calendar from a really well-known company here in the UK. I think they're well known across the world, but definitely from the UK. I've actually contributed a product. They reached out and said, we want like an influencers calendar. We want to put some products that people really love. So I recommended a product which I think is quite expensive for a calendar, but you can get like you can get a sample size. So I'm not going to say what it is, but you all know what it is anyway, probably. But so you put a sample size in there, and so I'm going to buy that calendar because I don't get any money for it. There's no sponsorship or anything. It's just they asked if we wanted to contribute, and I wrote a little note on the inside to say why I think it's a holy grail product, and I'm going to buy that calendar because I think it's a really nice idea, and all the money goes to Samaritans, which are a fantastic charity that help and support people, you know, that might be going through a difficult time over Christmas. So I'm definitely going to buy that one, but I can't actually tell you the name till the end of this month. But when I do, it's a great charity, and I think they were so lovely about making it fit, because my product was a little bit on the pricey side. For obviously you get a sample size, you don't get the full one, and a little bit on the price tag, but they said they'd make it fit, and they reached out to the company who said they'd give it a discount to make it work with charity. So they were so lovely. I also have been looking at a couple of I really like Cut Beauty are doing one, but it's a little bit, it's makeup and skincare, which isn't a bad thing because I don't wear makeup day to day, but I like to give it away to people. So I might get that one because I do really like the company. Which ones are you guys getting? Are you guys doing any of the advent calendars? I must admit, I can't do dairy, so I've been allergic to dairy forever. So I can't get the chocolate advent calendars that everyone here in the UK gets. So like, I deserve an advent calendar still, which is why I go for the skincare ones. It was introduced to me by Lab Muffin, where she says it can be applied around the area without stinging. That is a really good, actually really good recommendation. The UV Mermaid Gel is great for around the eyes. It's a bit on the pricey side, so I wouldn't use it across the whole face. But if you find that you can't apply a sunscreen around the eye area, that Mermaid Gel is amazing. It won't irritate the skin, and it's a really good quality sun protection for the eyes. Really great top tip, so thanks for sharing that. Radioactive DK says 28 viewers but 10 video likes. We could do better. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, if you could smash that like button, I would love you all forever. And you'd be doing a huge like live streams. I film it today and it's great. You know, we get loads of people on and they're getting busier and busier and busier, which is fantastic. But then I'm amazed at how many people watch it after it's already been up there, which is really good. And apparently, if you hit the like, the more likes it gets, the more people YouTube push it out to. So it's amazing. If you haven't checked out my video today, by the way, I did a video this morning on slugging, the new skincare viral trend. That video is doing really well. Loads of people are really interested in it. So I'd love to know, check that out after this video and let me know if you've ever tried it, if you've heard of it, if you've tried it, what your thoughts on it are. I'm a firm nope, not going to happen. But quite a few people in the comments have said it's done wonders for their skin. So after this, check that out and definitely leave a comment to share your experiences with that one. Laura says, I've also interested in the Hada Labo Hydrating Milk and the Good Molecules Niacinamide Serum. The Good Molecules Niacinamide, amazing. I have not tried anything from Hada Labo because here in the UK it's stocked in Superdrug, which is one of the drugstores, but it is always sold out, like always sold out. And I went in there once to get a load of product because I wanted to do a whole brand review, so I wanted to buy every single one of their products, and they had like one sad looking moisturizer. The top had been open and broken and that was all they had. I was like, no. So I haven't actually been able to get hold of any of it. So if there's anyone in the UK gets Hada Labo products, leave me a comment in the comments below where you buy them, because I'd love to buy them online. I just want to get my hands on them and try them. I think it was James Welsh did a review. Yeah, it was one of his. He did a review on the brand about a year ago, and since then I've wanted to try it. So leave me a comment with how you get it. Linda Carter says, how can I introduce retinol into my skincare routine? Linda, great question. So first of all, you should definitely introduce retinol. Everyone should have one in their life. I would say, first things first, start gentle. So choose a gram-active retinoid, which isn't a full strength. It's not going to create too much of the irritation and the peeling. I love the Inculist gram-active retinol, but there's loads out there. It's not going to go in super powerful. Really love that product. So either of those, really good. Then I would do it every third night, building up to every second night after about 3 weeks, and then every other night after a further 3 weeks. So by the end of like a 6-week period, you'll be using it every single night. And all I would do is make sure that once you put it on, leave it on for about 5 minutes, and then slather a really thick moisturizer on top. Something, you know, thick, rich, and hydrating, because you'll need it, and that'll just offset any of the dryness. If you actually don't want to change up your moisturizer, you can always put a few drops of your facial oil in your existing moisturizer, and that'll just powerhouse the hydration and stop you getting too dry from it. But it's a really good question. Definitely top tips is gentle retinol to start with. Don't use it every single night. We'll gradually introduce it into your routine, and then once you're doing it every single night, you'll never look back. I hope that helps. Maria, Boxing Day sales. Yeah, I love a Boxing Day sale. I am a total sucker for the sales, and I don't know why, because I go around shops, I'm like, don't like that, don't like that, don't like that. Take 10% off, I'm buying the lot. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not. If it's got 10% off, it's in the cart and I'm buying it. Ridiculous. This year, because of everything going on, obviously I don't think the sales will be the same, so I'm going to have a little bit of a look online, and, you know, maybe because I'm not physically there in the store and everyone's like thronging and buying, maybe I'll be a bit more selective if I do it online. This is my theory, but I don't know if that'll work. Chris says, what do I think about Tama New Oil? I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite, and I can't remember the brand. I'll leave it in the comments below. There's a brand that do like a healing oil. Oh, it's amazing, and that's got a base of Tama New Oil in there. One of my holy grail absolute favorites. I love it. It's one of those quite versatile oils. I did a video on facial oils where I said actually they're not all created equally. You need to choose one that meets your requirements for your skin type, and Tama New Oil is probably the one that just works for everybody. So if you want like a quick, don't have to think about it, just pick up an oil and know it's going to work for you, Tama New Oil is that. It's hydrating, yeah, it's not going to clog your pores, break you out. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous product. Beauty with Maddie says, hey hon, thank you so much for joining. Annika, welcome, my love. Hope everything's going well in Stockholm for you. Roshni says, what's the most hyped active ingredient? Ooh, there's hyped and there's overhyped. So at the moment, I am living for and loving vitamin C derivatives. So they're hyped and everyone's kind of getting on the derivative band. The most overhyped active ingredient, I think, is niacinamide. Great product, love it as an ingredient. I like it in my skincare routine. It does wonders for my skin, but it's not going to cure everything. People say, you know, just a drop of niacinamide and your pores are going to shrink. No, they're not. It's going to even your skin tone marginally, but it's not. So I think it's a nice to have in your routine, but I don't think it's going to deliver the amazing benefits everyone says it's going to. So I'd say niacinamide is the most overhyped of all the ingredients at the moment. Jenna says, what tips for products do you suggest that are best for textured skin and huge pores? Well, at the moment, I am absolutely loving the ordinary lactic acid 10%. I'm finding it hydrating, yet really great at exfoliating. My skin feels super smooth. It's helping with like the maskne, you know, where you wearing the face mask and you just get the acne and the whiteheads. It's really helping with that, and I'm absolutely loving it. So that would be a really good thing. I think the most important thing for textured skin is to have a retinol and an exfoliator. Match your exfoliator to your skin type. So if you're dry, lactic acid. If you've got normal skin, glycolic acid. If you're oily, salicylic acid. And that will just help to resurface the skin. Retinol will be amazing for getting in and increasing cellular turnover and preventing the pores being clogged, so that will help to shrink the size over time. It'll also trigger the production of collagen and elastin, which will, like, over time help sort of reinforce the walls of the pores so they become less, they can shrink up a bit. So that would be recommended. If you want like an all-in-one product that just kind of deals with it, I would go for the Sub-Q Skin by Hylamide, because it's got some peptides. It's a peptide powerhouse, which is great for triggering collagen. It's got some retinol derivatives in there, which will help. It'll help brighten the skin, but it'll also help shrink the pores. So actually, if you want just an all-in-one product, Hylamide Sub-Q Skin, amazing. But great question. Anastasia says, I just bought the ordinary Azure line because of you. Oh, thank you. Can you please tell you how to incorporate into your routine? I use vitamin C in the morning and tretinoin in the evening. Perfect. Right. So the Azure line, I'm so glad you bought it. It's my holy grail. I love this product. I use it morning and night. If you put it on, you want it to be as close to your skin as possible. So after you've, cleansed, you've toned, and then you're getting onto your serums, the first serum should be the Azure line. Pop it on where you want to use the product around your dynamic fine lines and wait 20 seconds for it to sink in, and then use your products after. You don't need to worry about it with retinol. It's absolutely fine. It's compatible with retinol, so you just carry on. On the mornings when you're using your vitamin C, it's not a big deal. Some people think that if you use a peptide and a vitamin C together, it's just the worst thing ever. It's not. The studies have shown it can decrease the effect. If you use it both morning and evening, even if it's slightly less effective in the morning because that vitamin C is still better than just using it once. So I would use it in the morning, and I would just buffer it with a product in between. So say if you use a high niacinamide or a hyaluronic acid or anything like that. So use the Azure line, use like a hyaluronic acid, then use your vitamin C, and that'll just buffer it out, and you'll find it won't actually impact the peptide at all. So that would be my top tip of how to, but I'm so glad you're using it, and make sure you keep me posted on the results and how much you love it. Orange J, hey guy, hey, welcome, thank you. Jay says, hi Rob, love from Jamaica. Oh, we've got a bit of Caribbean influence here. Hello. I might literally, while we're talking about the Caribbean, I love cruising. I've been on so many like Caribbean cruises. I love the culture, the food, just how relaxed everything is. And Jamaica's one of my favourite of the islands we visited. Literally the most laid back, chilled place I've ever been. I stepped off the boat and we went and got like a drink and some food, beautiful food. And it was just so calm, and everyone was just so relaxed. It was amazing. It was literally like one of my favourite places. So hello to Jamaica. Hope you're okay and well. I am, thank you so much. I have soporific dermatitis on my face and scalp. Is it okay to wash my face with the shampoo that I use to treat it on my scalp? So in theory, yes, it should actually be absolutely fine. What works on, you've got to be a bit careful because the face can be a little bit prone to drying, but yes, it would work the same way. However, if you've been prescribed the shampoo, I would recommend you go back to the person who's prescribed that and just double check with them, because they've seen you face to face. They'll be able to work out what's best for you. So yes, you can, but if you have the option to go back to see the professional that prescribed it in the first place, then I would do that, because that'll just clear everything up. And there might be something that's more effective for the face that they can recommend. So yes, you can, but I would go and see the professional before you do it. That would be my recommendation. Quirky Beauty says, our Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, used to be the day companies went from red to black for the year. Ah, that makes sense. So that's where Black Friday comes from. I didn't know that. I saw Black Friday, we do it here in the UK as well. I think if we've just stolen it from the US, everything gets like 10% knocked off it, and then people go mad. I'm not sure why we do. I know shops do it because it bridges that gap between like summer and Boxing Day, where we traditionally go mad and buy things. But Black Friday is actually becoming a bit of a thing here in the UK too. But I do like a scare. Oh, while we're on Black Friday, Neod did a Black Friday sale last year. If they're doing it again, I'm buying everything in their line. I don't even care if it's just like a little bit of Arab flair over at the United Arab Emirates, a country which I have never been to, and I always wanted to. So hopefully, when this year's passed and we can travel again, I'd love to go to the UAE. Can I use azelaic acid suspension with retinol and peptides? You can. Azelaic acid isn't a pH disrupting acid in the same way that something like glycolic is, so it works perfectly with retinols and with peptides. So yes, slather it on. I love azelaic acid. It's absolutely fantastic. The ordinary azelaic acid, which is my favourite, is out of stock at the moment, which I'm devastated about, but I have one in stock, so I'm hoping it'll be back by the time I run out. Sifa says, my skin has been horrible for the past month. I think I got contact dermatitis from the Lunic Centella calming cream, so I've stopped using the actives and only the snail essence and aloe vera. Well, aloe vera is fantastic at calming. I would say strip it right back to basics. Just cleanse, like you say, and add your hydrators in there. And over time, it will calm down and you'll be able to introduce some things. If it doesn't get better in about a month, I would see a professional just to make sure there's nothing else underlying it that a product could have triggered. So just be aware of that, but don't worry, it will calm down. I had that. I can't remember what the product was, which is bad because I might use it again, but something just really didn't agree with me, and it took about 3 weeks to calm down. I stripped it right back to basics, calmed down, and then I carried on with my routine and it reintroduced products. It's so annoying, but hopefully you'll feel better soon, my love. Daniela says, I love your videos. Thank you, my love. I have a quick question. What do you think of mixing the unscented serum of Centella Asiatica and peptides from Purita with the ordinary vitamin C plus alpha arbutin? You can mix them. I wouldn't use them next to each other. I'd buffer with like a hyaluronic acid in between, or something, a product in between, because you don't want those peptides to be made less effective by the vitamin C. The vitamin C is 8% ascorbic acid, so it's on the lower strength. The pH of that product isn't too bad, so it's not that bad to mix it with peptides. I still wouldn't recommend it going next to it, but if you buffer it with something in between, you can use them together. That's a really good question though. Laura says, love from Venezuela. Hello, Laura, sending lots of love to Latin America. Jennifer says, do you mix the ordinary EUK with a moisturizer? I found it's too thick and stick it on the skin. Yes, that is a really good way. If you find it too thick and like it doesn't sink in, add it to your moisturizer. Make sure the moisturizer's simple. Don't go for something that's got actives in there, because it could mix. I don't like mixing products into actives. So go for some natural moisturizing factors by the ordinary. Add that in, and it will just glide onto the skin. It'll sink in. Yeah, if you hit the like button, I'd love you forever, and it'll really help the channel. There we go. Hydrated. We're all good to go. Steve, could you do a review of the Korean skincare brands Skin 1004 and Axis Y? I can. I've never heard of those, but I can definitely do it because I'm really getting into my Korean skincare. And once a month, usually at the start of the month, I do a whole video just on exploring some new Korean skincare. So yeah, I can absolutely do that. I'll make a note. What I do is I rewatch this video the day after, and I make a note of all things I promised to do. So I will make a note when I rewatch this, and I will happily do a review on those for you. Oh, sorry guys, that's me. Hello from Germany. Hello, Verena. What do you think of the New Face Trinity or the Ferrero Bear? I love the Ferrero Bear. It's fantastic. Do you need a massage tool and a cleansing tool? No. You can use your hands. If you haven't got the money, I'd rather you spend your money on active ingredients and quality products than a tool. But if you have the money and you want to treat yourself, then going for one of these Ferio tools is fantastic. It'll just make your cleanser work that little bit harder, and it gives a gorgeous massage. However, if you can't, what really pains me is when I see people spending £100 on a massage tool and then buying cheap products. I'm like, no, wrong way around, people. Spend your money on your products, massage tool comes second. But if you've got the money, you want to treat yourself, it's a great addition. I love it. So much better than the Clarisonic as well. Quirky Beauty says, I picked up the Skin Star one. Oh, thank you very much, my love. I will keep that in mind. Crystal says, the caffeine solution lightens areas around my eyes within 3 to 4 days, so I use it with dark spots. Yeah, this is great. It is a beautiful multifunctional product, so absolutely fantastic. You'll see the puffiness and the discoloration disappear in about 2 days, so it works really quickly, which is one of the reasons I love it. Christina says, hello from Macedonia. Hello, my love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gal says, now I'm excited for your collab. I'm also wanting the Beauty and Soul Canada announcement, which will be the Korean products. Oh, I did not know they were doing one. I love, love, love Beauty and Soul. They're a fantastic company to buy from. I love them. I did not know they're doing a calendar, so I'm also now super excited about that. I cannot wait to try it because their product, I love Korean skincare, and I know I'm going to buy about 8 or 9 advent calendars this year because just opening them up and it's amazing. And I might do like a little bit of an opening on day one. We can't do it every day because it's a bit of a samey video, but on like day one, 1st of December, we'll do an advent calendar opening together. We can all pop. Linda, sorry, I'm so behind with these messages, as always. Beauty with Maddie says, how's your skincare line? Oh, it's going really well. Thank you so much for asking, Maddie. Basically, I'm at the stage now where the packaging is done. I'm waiting for the trademark to come through on the name, which is really good because once I got that, I can then share it with you guys. The formulation is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but that's just because, some things I'm very picky about what I actually want, and I think it's worth getting it right first time because I see so many people do launches that just don't go well, and also I read people to filth for their launches not being good, and so I kind of need to be held to a higher standard, and I can't produce like a substandard launch, so it's going to take a little bit of time. I'm in the formulation stage, but it's super fun. I've got a video coming possibly next week where I'm going to actually share you like a bit of behind the scenes of how it works, which I can't wait to share with you guys. Tom says, I really like your hoodie. What's the make on it? Well, first of all, it's not my hoodie, it's my partner's, and I really shouldn't be wearing it. But this one, what is it? Oh, it's Super Dry. This is like a company in the UK where I think they're international, but I don't know. Where they do, the hoodies are amazing. They're so comfy and they're so warm. They're amazing. I don't buy anything else from them because I think that the quality of their jeans, shocking. And the quality of their t-shirts is okay, but you pay like £50 for a t-shirt. No one wants that. But these hoodies are so thick and so warm and so luxurious. They wash really well, which makes me sound like a real middle-aged person because that's what I now worry about, which means I'm over 30 and it's fine. But they're actually amazing. And they're about £60, which is worth it for the quality and for the warmth. But the rest of the stuff from Superdry, not worth it. But thanks, Tom. What non-skincare recommendations do you have for us today? Oh, non-skincare recommendations. Well, a couple of things. First of all, my favorite Netflix series at the moment is American Horror Story. So I was watching Ratched, which was like, if you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's sort of like what happened to Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest before she did that, like a prequel. Really, the scenery, the clothes, everything, stunning. Literally fell in love with that program. And American Horror Story has been around for years and years and years, but apparently it's the same director, so I thought I'll watch it. And I'm on the first season of it, and to be honest, I am such a wimp. I watch it like this. I can't bear to see anything. So I've probably seen about 5% of it because I don't watch any of it, but it is beautifully shot. It's like everything is just gorgeous and luxurious. I watch it with all the animals surrounding me. Somehow I think they're going to protect me. They won't, they're all soft. But it is a really good program. So that's my favourite thing. And also my absolute favourite thing at the moment is every year, as we come into Christmas, and Christmas for me starts in September because I love Christmas, I read a book which is on the shelf behind, I think. Yeah, which is by L. Jefferson Fairjohn, called A Christmas in White, like a winter crime story, which is I'll leave a link to it below because I can't remember what it's called, but that's my favourite book at the moment, and every year I read it before Christmas, and basically it's coming to Christmas Day, there's a snowdrift, they're all on a train, a load of strangers on a train, they all get trapped, they go to a house which is empty, and then the fun begins. But we're set in that, it was written in the 20s, so it's all kind of like crime and gore, but without any of the goriness. It's just very like nice, and everyone has a lovely life. It's a really, really good book, and it sets you in the Christmas mood. So I start reading it now. I read like a chapter a night. By the time we get to November, I am in full Christmas swing. But those are my recommendations. Non-skincare. Marisol says, should I use a retinol when I'm a teenager? Really good question. Yes, so you can use retinol, but I would usually say it's quite a strong active to have in your routine. So there's no reason you can't use it. But I would maybe seek, if you can, go to like a dermatologist, an esthetician, your GP, whoever you can get to, just to double check it's right for you and your skin type. They can do wonders, particularly if you have acne. But I always think when you're in your teens, it's best to get it prescribed, because then you can choose the right one and it'll actually do what it needs to do for like acne and breakouts and things like that. But yeah, you can absolutely use a retinol in your teens. If you don't want to, or you can't reach for like a dermatologist, or you can't afford to, or for whatever reason, then I would go for something super gentle like the Retinol Reface by the Indeed Labs. Super gentle, but really gets that retinol hit still. Brilliant product. Anastasia says, no slugging for me. We're not doing that. We are not slugging here. I actually think what I loved about it, so I did a video today, for those of you that haven't seen it, on slugging. You should definitely check it out afterwards, because A, it's doing really well. I don't know why. I thought it was just a bit of a niche topic, but everybody has gone mad for it. So yay. So if you haven't already, if you could, after this, go and watch it and just click the like button. That'd really help. Slugging is basically where you put all your skincare on, you put your moisturizer on, and then you slab a thick layer of Vaseline on and call it a day. No, my issue with this isn't actually, and what's really interesting on that video, I asked everybody to leave their comments of whether they've done it and what the results were. And lots of people with super dry skin have come and said, actually, it was really good for me. So my issue with it is, first of all, Vaseline doesn't heal the skin, so I'm not that opposed to that. My issue with it is, it's people who say it's great for everybody. Everybody should slug. No. If you have oily or acneic skin, you definitely should not be putting Vaseline on active breakouts. Just a no-go. But for people with dry skin, in the comments seem to say, actually, it worked really well for me. So I think it's really interesting that if you have dry skin, I think it's a really good approach that you might want to incorporate into your routine. But for everyone else, I just think there's better moisturisers out there. And a lot of people have said, actually, just get a really nice hydrating sleep mask. That would be my suggestion. Get a hydrating sleep mask and move on with your life. Let's have a look and see. Hey, love your channel. Can you use retinol and peptides in the same routine? You can. This is like one of the most common questions I get asked on this channel. Can you use your retinol and your peptides in the same routine? You can. What impacts is retinol, peptides get broken down, and the amino acids get disrupted with the wrong pH. The pH of the product matters. Retinol is usually formulated at perfectly fine pH, so you're good to go. It's direct acids that you want to, and vitamin C's that you want to miss out if you don't want them to interact too much with the peptide. But yeah, retinol, absolutely fine. Tom said it's getting to be impossible to find any Inkilis products in store in Canada. What's a good dupe for the Inkilis retinol? I know. This annoys me because it's the same here in the UK. You go into Boots, which is the big drugstore here in the UK, and you look at the shelves, and the Inkilis has loads of products, and all of them are empty. There's usually like one really bad product, like that double cleanse they do. There's always plenty of that going. Nobody wants that. But yet none of the good products. So really, if I was going to choose dupe for the Inkilis retinol, it would be the Indeed Labs Retinol Reface. It's kind of similar. If you want something a little bit on the bougie side, Paula's Choice 0.3% retinol with bakuchiol is maybe a little bit stronger than the Inkilis retinol, but not meaningfully. It won't give you any more sensitivity. So that's like if you want a dupe but knock it up a little bit. If you want a dupe that's similar in price, I would go for the Indeed Labs Retinol Reface. Both of them I love. I think Paula's Choice with the bakuchiol just works that little bit better, but it's personal choice. It depends on what your budget is, I always say, with these things, because the retinol from Paula's Choice is so much more expensive. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. Great question, Tom. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. So if you can, if you haven't already, subscribe, and don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't. This tea is actually cold by now, but you know, we're keeping going. Let's have a look and see what other questions we've got. Laura says, I mix a few drops of Good Molecule squalane oil with my CeraVe lotion and use it as a moisturizer every night. It's amazing. This is it. Excuse me, the best way to do it is just to add some facial oil, any facial oil that works for you, into your moisturizer, takes it up a notch, and you don't need to buy a more expensive new moisturizer. And this is why I kind of don't like slugging, because you can just get a really good moisturizer and it does it. You don't need to use the Vaseline, because you can just get a really effective moisturizer. So that would be my recommendation. But thank you for sharing, Laura. Joanna says, I'm so confused what I can and can't layer with the Copper Amino Isolate Serum by Neod. Love that product. I reached out to Destiny, but they said they couldn't advise about products outside of their range, and I can't find any definite info online. Right, so this is a this is a really, really good question. what you can and can't use with the copper amino isolate serum. It is so when it comes to peptides, they don't like if you use the wrong pH. So if you apply it to skin, which is the wrong pH, it can break down the amino acids. And how they work. So how peptides work is they go onto the skin, and the body breaks them down from peptides into amino acids. Then the fibroblasts in the skin build them up to things like collagen and elastin, which is why it gives us that snapback, that gorgeous firmness to our skin. If you apply them to the wrong pH skin, that denatures the amino acids, which means they can't be used to create that collagen. So it just makes it less effective as a product. Certain peptides are less susceptible to this. The more complex the peptide, the more likely it is to be denatured. And the copper amino isolate serum is the most complex of all of them that I know of. So this is most susceptible. So things that you can use it with is everything, with the exception of direct acids. So that's things like lactic acid, glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and pure form vitamin C. That's anything that says ascorbic or L-ascorbic in the name you can't use. The reason is that it creates too low a pH, which will then impact the use of the peptides. So you've got a couple of choices. If you want to use it and you still want to exfoliate on the morning, and then you want to use it, then I would use it in the evening, because you can use it with retinol, no problem at all. So you could use the copper amino isolate serum in the evening and do your exfoliation in the morning, or you could just switch to a once a week exfoliation, use something like the peeling solution by The Ordinary. So do your exfoliation once a week and then just don't use the peptide on that morning, and then you can use it all the other. So there's ways of working that in. When it comes to vitamin C's, I like to use my vitamin C every single morning, so switch to a derivative. So a derivative is anything that isn't pure form vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid or ascorbic acid. I did a video on vitamin C derivatives. You might want to just have a look. Really, it's simple in that all you can't use with the copper amino isolate serum is anything that says ascorbic acid or L-ascorbic acid, and anything which is a direct acid, exfoliating acid. So that hopefully makes sense, but I know what you mean. It can be a little bit confusing, but actually it's a beautiful product and it's worth incorporating into your routine. You just have to plan out how you're going to incorporate it, I think. Nicolina says, hello from Croatia. Hello, sending lots of love to Croatia. Thank you very much for joining. Bunny Amin says, hello from Tokyo. This is my second time. It is. I remember you joining the first time because I love Tokyo. I love Japan. I love Japanese food. And it's such a shame that when I went to Japan, the food is divine. And you come back here and it's not the same. We don't do the same. We don't do our version Japanese, just not the same. However, when I went to New York, we went to a Japanese restaurant which had amazing reviews, obviously run by Japanese chefs and Japanese team, and it was the closest thing I've ever got to Japanese food outside of Japan. It was gorgeous. Anyway, that's a total sidetrack, but thank you so much for joining from Tokyo, my love, and welcome. Quaker says, Tama New Oil is also the hero ingredient in the Crave Great Barrier Relief. That's what I'm thinking of. That is the product I'm thinking of, yes. Absolutely stunning. It's a great oil and it's just everybody can use it. I have just realized how behind I am with the comments, guys. I am so sorry. I talk too much. I do always say if I don't get around to answering your question, I always answer all the questions the day later. So if you don't get your question answered now, just leave a comment in the description box below, and I promise you I'll answer it tomorrow. So don't worry, don't miss out. Sometimes I skip past a question by accident, or I don't have time to complete them, so just leave me a comment below. Alicia says, my skin is so... Oh, no, we've covered that one. Greetings from Qatar. So thankful for your videos. Oh, thank you, Mariam, and welcome. From anyone from the Middle East, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. It must be getting towards nighttime over there, so thank you for spending your nighttime hours with us here. Thomas, will you write a book on your expert advice and then you could do a book tour? I'd love it. Thomas, that's great. I'd love to do a book tour. My dream, when people say, like, what goals do you set for the channel? And I was thinking, I don't know, it's hard to think, but one thing that I've always wanted to do is have enough subscribers and have enough of a presence and a base that I can legitimately do meet and greets and know that more than like 3 people are going to turn up, because I just love to meet people in person. And I think one thing this year has taught us, because this year's been, a bit rough, is how important that like face-to-face contact. I'd love to do a book tour, I'd love to do meet and greets, and hopefully, I love travel as well. So if I can combine, a trip to Canada with a meet and greet, why not? I'd absolutely love to do that. I think I need to, I'm setting myself at like 100,000 subscribers. When we get there, I promise you all, I'll do a meet and greet. And it'll be great because I love to meet people face to face, and I am a full nerd when it comes to skincare. So I love you guys hearing your recommendations of what you're loving. So yes, Thomas, I promise. Poppy says, I'm loving using Paula's Choice 2% salicylic acid after cleansing, but worried about as it has to go on dry skin. But TWL, I don't know what that means. No, I don't know what that means. What does TWL mean? Leave me know. I'm trying to work it out, but my brain's frazzled. Anisha says, "What do you think about Oleus, the brand?" I've only used one of their products and I loved it. So I would you like to see a review on that? Leave me a comment if you want to see a review on that. I would happily do a review of the brand. L Love says, "Lush has been a game changer for me. I love the herbalism cleanser. I admit that their lines aren't perfect, but I believe in the effectiveness of the product." So Lush, the ethics of the brand, undisputed. I think they're fantastic. They're cruelty free, they give to charity, they give back to the world, they treat their workers fairly, they sustainably source their ingredients. The ethics behind the brand, flawless. They use a lot of fragrance in their products. I don't mind that. I'm not one of these people that doesn't like fragrance in my life. I enjoy a bit of fragrance in my skincare routine, and I actually quite like Lush. Their masks are really, really good. I've had some really good success with their masks. I haven't tried that cleanser, so I will try it. I think if you're sensitive to essential oils and to fragrance, Lush is just a no-go. Walk away, go nowhere near it. But for everybody else, I think it's a really good line. And if you're looking for an ethical skincare line that doesn't sell out and actually upholds its values, Lush are a fantastic company. I love them. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. So if you haven't already, guys, if you can smash that like button, I would love you all. Actually, it's really good, that tea. I just wish it was a bit warmer. Let's have a go. Poppy says, "Any tips for using Neod Repigment after scarring?" Oh, I love Neod Repigment. It's like my holy grail product. Tips for using it. Definitely incorporate it early on into your routine. So use it as the first in your serum step. I always say layer your serums in order of how important the thing is that they're tackling. So if pigmentation is your most important thing, Neod Repigment goes first and then follow on with the other things. So my top tip would be use it first in your skincare serum step, and I just love it. Just love the product because but if you can, I just think how much money I've spent on like rubbish pigment correctors, and I could have just bought the Repigment 5 years ago. Done. Save myself all that money. I love that product. Sophia says, "What do you think of the First Aid Beauty Air Whipped Moisturizer?" I love that moisturizer. But someone told me, and I've got to do a bit of research in this, that First Aid Beauty are no longer cruelty free. I don't know if that's the case. I need to do some research into that and look into it, because I think when companies regress on that, it's a big no-no for me. I like to see companies moving forward rather than regressing. So I'm going to look into that before I repurchase it. But I do really like the moisturizer. It's light, it's whipped, it's gorgeous. I don't think it's hydrating enough for the winter months for my skin, but for summer, love it. Absolutely love it. Anything with whipped in is my favourite. Nicolina says, "I use Benton BHA toner. I have dry skin and I can't tolerate a lot of acids, but it works great." The Benton one is super gentle, but I actually find you get a really good result with it. Korean skin, when it comes to Korean skincare, my next Korean skincare video is on Benton. So anyone that's looking for a review of Benton, watch out for next month. Pravasheen says, "Hello from South Africa." Hello, my love. Welcome. Discovered your channel yesterday. I loved it. Oh, thank you so much, Han. Thank you for joining us on this live. We do this every single, usually Saturday, but I know it's Sunday. And we do it every Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time. And I love chatting to you guys. Rashni says, "Will you be interested in doing a hair care routine?" Oh, well, my hair care routine is a bit on the basic side, but I have been trying to incorporate some new products in there. The Inculist do some really good hair care products, and I've been testing them because I did a video on them where I tested them, but I've gone back to a couple of them to try them again. So yeah, there's going to be a kind of a hair care update coming up. Malachi says, "What do you think of Geek and Gorgeous? I just purchased a niacinamide." So this week, finally, we have my video on Geek and Gorgeous. I've been reviewing them for ages. I filmed the video like 2 weeks ago, but I've been editing some bits and trying to get some right shots for it. So I'm trying to up my editing game on the channel and actually, like, you know, do it properly. So I've been spending a lot of time because a lot of you guys have really requested this video. So I want this video to be like the best it can possibly be. But I think I'm there, and I'm going to be releasing it this week. So you'll be able to see my actual opinions on Geek and Gorgeous this week. But their niacinamide is gorgeous. Let's have a look. Nat, can I implement different adapalene to my ordinary routine, which are niacinamide, ascorbyl glucoside solution, granactive retinoid, azelaic acid? Love your videos. I would take away the granactive retinoid and then put the different in instead of it, because it's kind of, they're doing the same thing. So they are slightly different in terms of you're good to go. That sounds like a really good routine, so thank you so much for sharing that. But yeah, just swap for your retinol and you'll be good. Radioactive DK says, "Have I gotten to the point where you would try Naturium products again, or are you still avoiding supporting the brand?" So The way I work on this channel, and you guys can totally disagree with me. Oh, it's got suddenly got really dark. I'm really sorry about that. Let me see if I can get the light up. It's got quite dark here in the UK, so sorry about that. Let me see if I can change that up a bit. So when it comes to Naturium, let's just see if I can change this up a bit. There we are. That should be better. There we are. Sorry about that. I don't know why it went really dark then. So when it comes to Naturium, I said because of the launch and the way that they did it and the duplicity and just all of the stuff that went around it, I personally wouldn't be purchasing from the brand. However, on this channel, I never tell people that they can't buy from a brand. You guys know, I don't like CeraVe. I don't support CeraVe. It's not a brand I use. However, I review their products because you guys ask for my thoughts on them, and I'll give you an honest, unbiased review. And same with Naturium. I actually liked a lot of the Naturium products when I tried them. I just didn't like the brand. So I gave you what my thoughts were, and then I'll leave it up to you whether you want to try them again. I am at the stage now where my main issue with them, I think everyone should be given a second chance and be forgiven. So whilst I haven't reached for them again, I'm not like super anti them. My issue with them is they don't ship outside the US. So if I want to get my hands on them, I have to get a friend in the US to send them to me. It's quite cumbersome. So I think I can forgive the launch, and hopefully they've learned from that and moved on. You know, companies are allowed to move on. My issue with them is they don't ship outside the US. And I think a year into the product, because we're coming up to a year since their launch, and I think to still not be shipping outside of the US is a bit lazy. You know, Susan's got an international following, and people want to get their hands on these products and try them for themselves. And I think it's a real shame that they are launching product after product. Every week we have a new product launch, which is great, but I really think they want to get their shipping sorted. I don't see why they can't ship to Mexico, to Canada, to, you know, just slowly but surely branch out their shipping operation. I don't know, even charge for it. You know, if it costs you $12 to ship to the UK, charge us $12. That's fine. Give us the option. So my issue with them is that they don't ship internationally, which I still think is a shame a year after. But I would try them. As soon as they start shipping to the UK, I will try them. I'll give them a review. They've got loads of some of the stuff that happened with the launch, but I'm finding it hard to forgive the fact that, you know, they've forgotten about everyone outside the US. That would be my thoughts on the brand. But good question. Paula says, what do you think of the brand DermaQuest? I have tried nothing from DermaQuest. What do you think of the brand DermaQuest? And is there anything you think I should try? Because I would love to hear your recommendations and try the products that you think are great. Leon says, what do I think to a skincare fridge? Right, okay. So, I have no issue with a skincare fridge. It's a bit like massage tools. I would rather you spend your money on good quality products than spend it on a skincare fridge. But if you've got to a skincare fridge, it's fine. They're not essential. A, because you can use your actual fridge and just put your products in there. You don't need a separate fridge. It's convenient. It's in the bathroom. I get that. Most products don't need to be refrigerated. And I actually find most products work better at room temperature. So with the exception of things like toners, calm and soothe when they're cooler, so you might want to keep those in the fridge. Vitamin C's I tend to keep in the fridge because I feel they keep for longer, but everything else I think works better at room temperature. So I don't have a skincare fridge. I don't plan on getting a skincare fridge, but I do keep some of my products in the fridge. So it's not a no, it's on a skincare fridge, and then they're using cheap ass products because they can't afford better ones. I think your priority should be with the product, not the fridge. But let me know, does anyone have a skincare fridge? Own up, people. Do you have a skincare fridge and do you love it? Own it. Let me have a look. Hello, I'm on Accutane and I'm not experiencing dry lips or dry skin or any other side effects. Should I be worried? No. If it's been prescribed to you and it's been under the supervision of a dermatologist or professional, keep going. Not everybody suffers the same side effects as everybody else. Some people are more resilient to it. If you're concerned, speak to the person that prescribed it, but I think it's absolutely fine. Keep going with it. Unfortunately, that probably will come with time, but everyone's skin's differently. We all react differently to products and prescriptions. So no, I would not be worried. Laura says, oh, that's so cute. Thank you for taking our questions into consideration. Oh, it's a pleasure, Laura. It's an absolute pleasure. If you ever want a video or you want a question, just leave me a comment below and I'm quite happy to do it. Oscar says, hello, any product recommendations with azelaic acid? I use the ordinary one, but I really don't like the texture. So loads of people don't like the texture of the ordinary azelaic acid. I actually really like it. I like that silicone-y feel to it, but I get it. It's silicone-y, not everyone likes it. I would recommend, if you don't like the ordinary, you can go super expensive and go for the Paula's Choice Azelaic Acid Booster, which is gold. That would would be option one. If you live in like Canada or the US, you can get their Garden of Wisdom azelaic acid, which is super cheap and it's also in a cream format, and I love that. I also, if you're in the UK, Europe, or America, because I do ship to America, the Face Theory azelaic acid is amazing. Slightly stronger than the ordinary. It's 15%, not 10%. But it's divine. It goes on like a hydrating like serum, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's all plant-based and it's gorgeous. So Face Theory would be my option, and I think it's about £15, so it's not that much more expensive than the ordinary. Paula's Choice if you want to go for real luxury and hydrating, but it is more expensive. And Gardener's Wisdom if you can get it, really good. Right, I'm going to have a last sip of tea because the last dregs of this. If you could hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll just have a sip of tea. And then we can carry on. Right, let's see where we are with these questions. Hannah G says, hello, quick question. I want on my retinol game, can I mix retinoid and retinaldehyde? I wouldn't. You can, but I wouldn't, because I think then it can get a little bit confusing. I personally would reach for just a stronger retinol. So if you're on, say, like if you're on like a Gran Active retinoid and you want to up your game, go for something with a bakuchiol in as well, because that'll like double the impact, but you won't get as many side effects. And the Paula's Choice 0.3 retinol with bakuchiol, gorgeous. You can go for the Paula's Choice 1% retinol if you want. I would go up your strength. If you're a bit confused, leave me a comment below with what you're using currently, and I can recommend like the next step up for you with a similar price point, if that helps. Noah says, how to combine retinol 1% from the ordinary and BHA from Paula's Choice in my routine? Great question. Opposite ends. So BHA in the morning, retinol in the evening. Perfect. You can use them together, but I find it's quite sensitizing and might create irritation. So exfoliate in the morning, retinol in the evening, and you are good to go. Chris, so excited for your skincare line. Thank you, Chris. I'm super excited. I just want to share more with you, but I had to wait for the trademarks and stuff, but I can't wait. What are the Daphne from Israel says, sorry about a silly question, but what are these calendars? It is not a silly question at all. I don't know if maybe you don't have Advent. You must have Advent calendar. I don't know. So Israel, obviously. I guess predominantly Jewish country. So I'm not sure if you have Advent the same way we do. I'm sorry, that's just my ignorance. But basically, from the 1st of December here in the UK and in America, we celebrate Advent where every day we open like a door. You get like this box and it's got like 25 windows in. It's like the countdown to Christmas. It used to have a religious meaning with Advent, and it still does to a lot of people. But they've got a really nice motto in there, like a positive message or something, and a little gift. So it's like working your way to Christmas, and it's an advent calendar. It's like a countdown, and the skincare brands have got on board with it, and now you do every door. It used to be that every door you opened either had a nice picture or had a chocolate, and now skincare companies have got on board with it, and you open it, and behind each door is a skincare product, like a little mini travel size. So I love them, and it is a little bit on the commercial side, but I love them, and I think they usually come with a really nice positive message, and a lot of them have charities attached to them, so it's giving back, which I think is really nice. So I love Advent. I love a calendar. I've got some family which are religious and celebrate Advent as a religious thing, so I like to celebrate that side of it as well. I also really like the fact that you get a nice little message every morning, doing a bit of charity, and you get a nice gift every day, so it's fine. Here in the UK, I don't know how it works in the US, and here in the UK we tend to buy each other an Advent calendar, so you don't buy yourself one, you buy somebody else one and I gift it, so it feels like you're giving it to me, but actually I never get the one that I want, so I'm buying myself one this year and I don't care. So but it's not a silly question. It is a very good question, because I actually don't know what they do in Israel in terms of Advent. Be interested to know. Oh my god, I'm so excited for your skincare line. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bernice says, hello from Austria. Hello, my love. Can you please do a video on Korean sleep masks sometimes? Yes. So every month, at the start of the month, I do a different Korean skincare video. I've done SPFs. This month I'm doing cleansers, and I'm also doing a video on Benton, so that's a brand specific one, but I'm doing one on cleansers. I've done one on sheet masks, but sleep masks are great, and that's coming up. Essences and sleep masks are also in the pipeline, so before Christmas you will have that video. Let's have a look. Gerson says, hi from Germany. Hello, my love. Have I ever tried Hylamide Pore Flush? Thanks for everything. I really want to try the Hylamide Pore Flush. It was been out of stock for ages. It's back in stock now, and when I do my next Decium order, I'm definitely going to order one, because people say it's really good. Can't comment because I haven't used it myself, but my pores do need a little bit of love sometimes, so I can't wait to try it. The ingredients look great. Have you tried it? Let me know what you think. Steve says, what mineral sunscreen do you highly recommend for inflamed and acne contact dermatitis? I had mineral sunscreens. Yeah, mineral sunscreens are better if you've got impaired barrier function. I just think they're slightly more gentle. They don't interact in the same way. So I would prefer a mineral sunscreen if that was the case. I would work. What's my favorite one for a gentle one? Aveeno do a really good mineral sunscreen that's super gentle. I'm using the Make Prem, which I'd look at the Aveeno one. It's fantastic. I'll leave a link to it below because it's a really beautiful, gentle, fragrance-free option for everybody. But mineral is usually better if you've got contact dermatitis. Rocksha said, what would you recommend to get a glowing skin? Which one is better? Layers Vitamin C or Wish Trend Vitamin C? I would actually use a Vitamin C derivative. The Ordinary are my favourite ones, but out of those two, I would go for the Wish Trend Vitamin C. I like Wish Trend as a brand, and their Vitamin C is really good. But my favourite are the derivatives by the Ordinary. I think you get more brightness. You don't get the downtime, the irritation, or the dryness that you can get from Vitamin C. It's a really nice combination. For brightness, definitely need an alpha arbutinol life and a vitamin C. The two of them, gorgeous, and will get you glowing to the gods in no time. Now, guys, we are coming up to the hour mark. I can't believe I've been talking for an hour again. But so if you haven't already, do hit that like button because I'd love you all forever. But we will keep going because I've got a few more questions to get through. I do always say, if I haven't got around to your question, I'm so sorry, but I do please, just leave it, just type it out again in the comments below. And I go around tomorrow and answer all of them personally. So if I haven't got around to your question, because I'm always behind, I talk too much, just type it out in the comments below and I promise I'll get back to you tomorrow. Quirky Beauty slugging is really meant for people who are super dry and with areas of electric heat. Quirky, I totally agree with you. I think super dry skin, it could work really well. My issue with slugging is that people promote it as suitable for all skin types, and it's just not going to work for people with skin like mine, which is reactive and breakout prone. But if you're super dry, or if it's been advised by a dermatologist, yeah, I think there's a place for it. I just think it's become one of those trends that everybody's on board with. You need it in your life, and you really don't if you have acne or breakout prone skin. Let's have a look. Mark Williams says, thoughts on fungal acne and how to solve it. Mark, I have done a whole video on fungal acne. If you see, because I've done a whole routine there. My top tip would be definitely go for a what do you call it? Micellar water is your cleanser, because micellar waters are great for fungal acne and they won't trigger it for most people. That would be my top tip. Gal says, Google Cult Beauty Advent Calendar to see an example. Yes, Cult Beauty do some great ones. Michelle says, greetings from Cyprus. Hello, Michelle. Welcome and thank you for joining us. And BB says, can I use the Copper Amino Isolate Serum by Neod in the morning with the Survival 30? You can. Lots of people say you can't use them together. I would use your Copper Amino Isolate first, and then I would use hyaluronic acid to separate the two, and then your Survival. I've used it with no issues. The pH is right, and whilst it's a strong antioxidant, it's not going to denature the peptide, so you're absolutely fine. If you're worried about it, just put a hyaluronic acid between them, and that'll just buffer it for you. Joanna says, thank you so much for your elaborate answer. It's a pleasure, my love. Thank you, and sending lots of love to Australia. Chris says, whoa, how many places have you travelled? I have, I worked for, like years and years ago, I worked for a cruise company, so I went on so many holidays with them and went to so many places. The problem is, when you do a cruise, I love a cruise, but you only ever see them for like the places for a short amount of time, so I've got a full list of places I want to go back to and do in more detail, because you can't do them justice, but I did loads of travelling. I love travelling. I love food. I just like food. Kelly says, hey Rob, I wanted to know any suggestions for body acne and body acne scars. That's a really good question, Kelly. Exfoliation is key, but you can go a little bit stronger with the body than you would on the face. My favorite is the Face Theory Glycamide Body, which is a 9% glycolic acid. You put that on the body, it'll really help with the chest and the back acne, and will help with any scarring you've got. Also, I always recommend, if you go into the gym, often body acne is caused by the gym and sweat, wear cotton. So if people who go to the gym and they wear that like sportswear, doesn't let your skin breathe properly. If you've got acne, it's great otherwise, but if you've got acne, actually you're better just working out in a cotton t-shirt, because what that does is takes the sweat, absorbs it and removes it from close contact to the body. So wear cotton, don't wear some of the lycra and the stuff. It's not as good if you've got body acne. And what I would recommend is, as soon as, some people don't like showering at the gym, I get that. So if you're one of these people that like to go home and then shower at home, what I would do is just get a micellar water on a cotton round and just wipe it over the areas where you get that acne as soon as you finish. As soon as you finish, when you're in the changing rooms, you don't want to shower, fine, just wipe it over, because that'll just take away any sweat and bacteria that's built up, and that'll really help with calming down the body acne. It's my top tip, because I'm one of these people that likes to go to the gym, but then I like to just go home and shower at home, because I don't really like the whole gym shower thing. So I go home and shower at home, but I always just wipe over with the micellar water where I get acne, which is on my chest, just to make sure that I get rid of that bacteria and sweat. There with my top tips. Rochelle says, how do I layer my moisturizer on top of prescription cream without keeping the cream concentrated in one spot? You can just use it. Just wait for it to sink in. Cream sink in after about a minute and a half. So wait 90 seconds and then put your moisturizer on top and you'll be absolutely fine. It'll have sunk in and the actives will have gone into the skin by that point. The 90-second rule, if before you put your moisturizer on top, will solve that. But great question. Really good question. Julie Smith says, hi from Diego says, hi, I have really dry skin and every sunscreen I tried feel dry after a few hours. Is it okay to add moisturizer to my face when it's feeling dry without interfering with the protection? So you can. This is a common theory. If you put the sunscreen on, I would always say try and find the most hydrating sunscreen you can that can act as a moisturizer, but it's not always possible. So what I would recommend you do is to pack your humectants on, put your sunscreen on, and you can apply over the top of it. You should be applying every couple of hours your sunscreen anyway. I know not everyone can do that, I can't, but if you can get a hydrating SPF spray and just spritz it on, put your moisturizer on and then just give it a quick spritz with an SPF spray. The cooler do a really good section. I think that's kind of like the best way of reapplying whilst allowing to put your moisturizer on as well. But really good question. Olina Young says, yikes, I'm late. I'll watch the beginning later. Great to see you. Thank you for joining, my love. You aren't too late. It's fine. You're always welcome, my love. And it is on repeat from tomorrow morning. It doesn't load straight away anymore. It used to be, it was always really patchy and awful anyway, so it'll go live again tomorrow morning, about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Michelle Thal says, you asked for recommendations for a gel cleanser for oily skin. I did. I would like to suggest the Alpha H Triple Action Cleanser. Alpha H cleansers, I'm sold. I love the balancing cleanser, I like the hydrating cleanser, I love them all. So yes, thank you so much, that's a great recommendation. Right guys, we are coming up to the end. We are 1 minute, an hour and 2 minutes, I'm always overrunning. I'm really sorry if I didn't get around to your question. If you just type it out in the comments below, I'll get back to all of them tomorrow and I will definitely respond to all of you. So thank you so much. If you haven't already, make sure that you hit that like button because it does really help this video get promoted once it's live. If you missed any of it, it's back live tomorrow morning from 8 AM UK time, so you can always log on and check it out there. But leave me a comment below if I didn't get around to your question, and I promise you I'll get back wherever you are in the world, guys. And whatever you're doing this evening, I hope you're staying safe and well, and I'm sending lots of love. Thank you for joining me and see you next week. Bye.